to another Hi exclusive right here on Hi TV, your luxury channel. My name is Deema and I'm here at the International School of Western Australia here in Valley Surrey to talk to two very distinguished guests. I have with me Miss Rose Smith, Principal Consultant, International Education, Early Childhood International Education Curriculum, Assessment and Strategic Policy for SCSA. I also have with me Mr. Rob Naren, who's the Principal Consultant, International Education Strategic and External Relations for the School Curriculum and Standards Authority. It's a pleasure to have you, and today we're going to talk about starting an international journey, an internationally recognized healthcare professionals journey studying here at ISWA. So starting off, let's talk about the Australian education market. There's plenty of demand all over the world for the Australian curriculum. So what made you choose the Sri Lankan market to come here to partner up with ISWA and set up your curriculum here in Sri Lanka?
I think the biggest thing that attracted us here was that ISWA saw an opportunity. They saw an opportunity for delivering education differently for some of the students, and by talking with them and finding out what they had as a vision for educating students in what now is a global world. Students, we look at our students these days and they educated in one country and they go to university in another country and they go and work in another country, or they work online servicing clients across the world. So I think it's the innovation that we saw in ISWA, the structure that they had in place, and the desire to go out and do something a little bit different. And that's what we're about. We're about trying to, we license schools to deliver our curriculum internationally. We have about 36 schools that are currently licensed. We've been doing this for over 30 years. And we have schools in many different countries that deliver the West Australian curriculum.
But also, though, they were wanting to expand on the idea of, rather than just secondary education, involving smaller children and beginning their journey from a kindergarten point of view, so the smallest people to the largest, the cohorts. So bridging the children who are kindergarten beginning their journey, and then also developing and supporting those children who are at the end of their journey.
Sounds fantastic. So for somebody who's coming into ISWA, let's talk about the kind of future that they can foresee if you start now, you start studying, you get yourself qualified. What's the sort of benefits they'll get studying the curriculum and then onwards?
At the moment, ISWA has their first cohort of Year 11 students. So they'll go through Year 11 to Year 12 and they'll complete what we call the West Australian Certificate of Education. ISWA has also taken a bold step, as Rose has just indicated, and they're also developing a curriculum through to a kindergarten through to Year 10 program. So what they envisage in the future is that students will come into the kindergarten, they'll do kindergarten, pre-primary, right up to Year 10, and then they'll move into Year 11 and 12 and get their WACE. What a WACE does is, a WACE is an internationally, WACE and an ATAR are internationally recognised qualifications. So a student who gets a WACE and an appropriate ATAR can get entry into universities all around the world. So part of the journey is that we try and assist the school to implement our curriculum with the idea that students will go through to the end of Year 12, they'll achieve their WACE, the West Australian Certificate of Education, they'll get their Australian tertiary admissions rank, and then they'll get entry into universities. The thing that is different about our program, or every student who is studying the West Australian curriculum is considered as equal. So the students that come out of ISWA with a WACE, that WACE is exactly the same as the WACE that a student in Western Australia will, or a student at Malaysia, Singapore, or whatever other countries that are delivering it. They come out with the same West Australian Certificate of Education, the same ATAR. They are competing on the global scale.
Sounds fantastic. So there you go. Once you study here and you get your qualifications done right over here, you're considered equal and you can apply anywhere. Did I get that right? Just not Australia, but anywhere else in the world?
Anywhere in the world. Obviously, we encourage people
to come to Australia.
Tertiary education in Australia.
And we would love some of the students to come into Western Australia in particular. But yeah, look, many of the graduates that come out of our schools that are international schools, they go to universities in America, United Kingdom, Australia. So, you know, it's open. It opens the world for the students.
That's a term we're going to focus on. It opens up the world to you. We're going in for a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Sitting down in conversation with Rose and Rob here. And if you are a student who has just finished your O-levels and wondering what you can do as a next step for your career, for your education, well, you're tuning into the right channel and the right program as well. So getting back into the conversation, Rob, with the students and the opportunities that they have here at ISWA. If somebody comes and joins ISWA, what sort of benefits and opportunities is a Sri Lankan student looking at?
We pride ourselves on offering a world-class curriculum. So our curriculum is recognised internationally, as is the ATAR and the WACE is recognised internationally. We provide a lot of support for the teachers. We provide a lot of support for the students. So when we enter into when we license a school to deliver our curriculum, we enter into a partnership with that school. So it's not something where we say, okay, here's our curriculum, go away and do what you want. We enter into a genuine partnership. We work very closely with the school, and part of the reason we're up here today is to visit the school, have a bit of a look around, hands-on approach, talk to the teachers, talk to the staff, and look, it's the experience we've had at ISWA has been fantastic. A very committed team of educators, a team of educators with a vision moving forward. I just think there's our curriculum provides opportunities for students, not only who are wanting to study further study in Sri Lanka, but studying abroad. So our curriculum's delivered in English, it's examined in English. We embed skills into our curriculum that will hopefully set the students up not only for work and life after school, but also set them up so that they can be successful in university.
Well, as Rob said previously, it's important for us to develop relationships with the people that we're working with. So it's been quite critical for us to come over here and meet the people that we've only previously met via a WebEx. And so we're seeing people face to face, which I think is wonderful. And we get to see the facilities and we make those connections, because as a principal consultant, it's our job to make sure that we support the school through this journey.
Now that you have actually made the journey here, now you've seen the facility, you've met the people, what do you feel about ISWA, the sort of brand that they have built for themselves?
Look, I'm excited.
Yes.
I really am excited. I had a pleasure of speaking to the current group of students today and the teachers. I think what ISWA has done is they've not rushed into it. They've looked at the research around our curriculum. They've done their homework and said, well, look, we think this is something that will benefit not every student, but a lot of the students in Sri Lanka. So then they've entered into a partnership with us. We started off with Year 11 and then moving into Year 12. As I said earlier on, they're now looking at developing kindergarten through to Year 10 so that we get that whole experience. I think they are developing a strong brand. They've got some good marketing material that they're doing. The benefit that they have is that they've not tried to rush things. They've gone in with their eyes open. They've addressed any issues and concerns that have come along. They really have the best interest of students at heart. And I think that's important. As educators, we're all about trying to make sure that we give our students, or give students, the best opportunities to succeed. And part of our role is to try and help them through that.
That is something I think we in Sri Lanka are a little bit concerned as well. When it comes to private education, everybody thinks that the institutions consider themselves as a business and not towards the education. So it's lovely to hear that the aspect of the student is being considered as an educator as well.
I think that's pretty actually a very good insight, because they do have the child at the central point of all decision making from the sound of it. So especially from an early childhood perspective, we're talking about a child being seen as a whole being, a whole person being growing together, not just one part of a child growing. So holistically, they've got that beautiful ideal and that innovation around developing a whole child through this whole journey. So it's a lovely idea.
And we have exactly the same expectations of ISWA that we have of every other school that's delivering the West Australian curriculum. So, you know, we're there to make sure that they're doing the right thing by the students and the students are getting the best education possible.
Sounds fantastic. And also talking a little bit about the future now, you said you're planning on starting from kindergarten onwards. Can we see that coming into light anytime soon for anybody out there thinking about starting their children with a university, with an Australian level education, the curriculum? Can we see that happening anytime soon in the future sort of framework light?
I think they've got a plan for reasonably soon, so as soon as their facilities are ready, and they are absolutely looking beautiful right now, so that was an important part of making sure that this journey was going to be successful, was to have a facility that has the child's interests and the development of the child at the centre of the decision making. And that is clear that they have done that. They've done a lot of thinking about how that will progress. They've thought about the structure of how it will continue from kindergarten through to pre-primary to year 1, all the way up to year 10 and into the existing year 11 and 12 that they've got. So yes, I think they've thought about it very well, and I think it's going to be a very positive journey. So if people can enrol their children, I think it would be a lovely beginning, yes.
That's fantastic.
And I think they've consulted widely. You know, they've spent a lot of time talking to Rose about, you know, how would you design a kindergarten? What does it look like in Australia? All of those sorts of things. And look, the facility we saw today was fantastic. It'll be great. And yeah, I look forward to seeing it in a couple of years' time when it's full of little kids.
And their staff are very eager to do the right thing by the children, which is positive as well. So
all the right things you want to hear when it comes to an educational institute. Taking a small break and we'll be back with plenty more information. Welcome back to the final segment of this show. Now, the important questions to ask Rob and Rose are just left up. And let's see, from a point of view of a student who is about to complete their Western Australian curriculum for a Sri Lankan student, and they're willing to pursue their education further, what sort of opportunities are there?
Well, I think that this is a unique situation. The school itself offers the nursing training and the teacher training. So in Australia we do have a shortage of both of those careers, so people to work in nursing and in education, specifically early childhood. And we're always looking to encourage people with those skills and the knowledge to come to Australia to fill the gap, I think, in what we can't fill ourselves. So yeah, I'm sure there's lots of career opportunities for people there.
There's multiple pathways, and there's lots of markets around the world. I was speaking to the students today, and I was asking about their aspirations. And you know, they've got very high aspirations, and look, they're achieving. If they keep achieving the way they are, I've got no doubt that they'll meet those aspirations. But you know, they were asking me questions like, so, you know, where will the ATAR take me? Where will the waste take me? And I go, it'll take you anywhere you want to go. How do I? And then we were talking about how they apply for different universities and different courses. It's the same around the world. People are wanting to go and study abroad. People are wanting to go and live abroad. It opens up a whole pathway of opportunities. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to go abroad. But we like to think that our curriculum prepares them very well for life after secondary school, and that's an important aspect. So, you know, the pathways are there. I guess the world is open to the students, and they can choose to do what they want. And this is a bit of a pathway or a vehicle for which they can achieve their dreams.
Sounds fantastic. So having an opportunity is what is important. Then you have all the options for you to choose which way you want to go, which pathway, which university. So many options open up when you get yourself qualified the right way. So lastly, for a parent or a student who is watching us and thinking, why should we choose ISWA for our child or for myself, what would you tell them?
Look, I have a background as a school principal. So I was a school principal for a number of years. I would tell them exactly what I used to tell my parents, the parents and the students. You need to look at what ISWA is offering. You need to look at the West Australian curriculum. You need to go in informed about what your child wants to do in their future. And then you need to make a decision based on the facts that you've gathered. You know, the West Australian curriculum, I'm not going to say will be for every student. But I'm saying that if a student chooses to do the West Australian curriculum for the right reasons, and they achieve, then it will open up pathways around the world. So I would encourage parents to come along to information sessions. I'd encourage parents to explore what the West Australian curriculum will offer. I would encourage them to talk to the staff at ISWA. They're very, very well informed, and find out a little bit about the program, and then make a decision in the interest of your child. I think that's the important thing. In education, we're all about trying to achieve what we can for our children, and that's the best thing to do.
And it's a new beginning for kindergarten there. They've never done it before, so it's a brand new opportunity to explore something different in education. And in early childhood, we do things a little bit different from what I understand, and we do place the child's interests and their curiosities. We question them a lot. So if you're a parent who's a bit worried about the rigour of what might happen with the kindergarten curriculum or guidelines, it's something that's worth being explored and experiencing firsthand. Again, like Rob said, ask the staff. They can tell you a lot about it. They've just been through some information regarding it. So I think if you are wanting something different for your child, it's a great opportunity. It's sitting there to start. The facilities are beautiful.
Well, there you go. Come to Valisara, come to ISWA, find out the information. You can log on to their website as well. Plenty of information, plenty of consultants. They'll talk you through, they'll give you all the information that you need to have at your fingertips to decide whether you want to send your child here with a Western Australian education as well. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rose, for sitting down with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Well, that concludes another Hi exclusive right here on Hi TV. My name is Dima. Until we see you again, take care and be safe.